This is our RIOT podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Now, inside this podcast are allegations, hurtful words.
Don't start with that. We have other stuff first.
And gaslighting. It's all in there.
Ooh, now they're intrigued, so they must watch through the whole and listen to the whole podcast.
See if you can find it.
At the location where it starts.
Don't worry. I'll point it out when the time comes.
So in our podcast today, we do introduce you to Faith Child. He's in London. He's one of our new artists that we play on RadioU, and it was great to meet him. When you're done with the podcast, just head over real fast to RadioU RIOT on our Facebook page. You should follow us while you're there. Make sure you get your notifications turned on, and you can watch our interview. So in case you wonder what it looks like, you're normally just a podcast listener where you're hearing things. You can actually watch our stuff too.
If you heard me say crap, that's because...
Did you forget to put them in there?
Absolutely, I did. I mean, I'm going to fix that.
Yes.
But I totally
always
didn't
good to double
ready.
check before we send this podcast out.
Let's see, Faith Child, there it is. We'll just download it.
And slide it on in.
Just slide it on in there, no problem. Thank you, Nikki. In addition to Faith Child, it's actually, he seems like a great guy. I love the new song. We get to find out why he is collaborating with KB, all that stuff. Also, we'll talk about Impossible Milk, flying squirrels, shopping, the scariest movie according to science.
And your heart rate.
Yeah. So you're going to enjoy the podcast today.
At least that's a step in faith that we're saying.
I believe it, Nikki.
So make sure you say hello to text 877 to RadioU, or while you're at our Facebook page, just message us and hopefully let us know you enjoyed the podcast as well.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Are you doing school from home, classes from home, work from home? You don't have to be at home anymore. What if you could do class from a Ferris wheel right now?
Okay, well, that would be pretty fun.
Or work from a Ferris wheel.
I wonder how the Wi-Fi, the structure of that would go, how consistent would it be?
I'm with you. I'm a little curious, but a place called Yomuri Land, it's in Tokyo. So, yes, you're going to have to travel a little bit, all right? You'll live. Come on. It's just outside of Shinjuku.
Yeah.
This is 35 minutes from there. They are offering what they call an amusement workation package for about $18 a day. That's the starting price, of course, starting on October 15th. So now you can go in, you can work poolside. You have access to power outlets.
Okay.
All the Wi-Fi you can drink.
Okay.
And you also get 1 hour on the Ferris wheel.
One straight hour, or can we just use it up in different times?
Seems to me that it's an hour. You'll schedule an hour that you get to spend on the Ferris wheel.
And you just get to work on it?
I guess.
I guess that's fun.
I mean, would you... Some people are, terrified of Ferris wheels. Would you...
Oh, I'd be fine, but I wouldn't want to spend an hour on it.
Yeah, the thing I can't figure out is, how big is their Ferris wheel?
Is it parking lot of a strip mall Ferris wheel? Is it a more impressive one?
It is.
Is it like the Eye?
I mean, I will tell you, this is it seems like a smaller scale amusement park.
Sure.
But let's keep in mind that in most countries, not the United States, most amusement parks are smaller scale.
Sure. Yeah, they're just not our size.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the Ferris wheel in these photos. I just can't find it. Maybe they mean something different by Ferris wheel.
They want it to be a surprise.
Okay, maybe that's it. But, I guess the idea is you'd still have Wi-Fi on the Ferris wheel.
So it's kind of similar to where some hotels here back during the quarantine time, when tourism really died down, you could still go into a hotel and use it for the day as your office. Well, so instead of staying at home, if you didn't want to be there, you could utilize a hotel room. Not necessarily the room service, but I think you could use the pool and stuff.
Okay. Well, this says that right now in Shinjuku, it is 7 p.m. In Japan. It's 61 degrees. So they're having a high most days of it. Looks like about 70.
You know what? That's nice. That's nice Ferris wheel weather.
It's nice Ferris wheel weather. And I feel like it's maybe a little cool for the pool.
Oh, it's not good for the pool. But you can still work next to it.
Work next to the pool for $18 if you need to get out. It's something. Plus the Wi-Fi, it's includes the Wi-Fi.
I saw a restaurant in some other place. It's not Japan, but I forget where. But the restaurant is working with a Ferris wheel where you would kind of eat in each car, and it goes up and around. So that's how you distance away.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, so something fun.
I don't want to do it.
But an hour straight on a Ferris wheel, I might not want. I wish you could break it up.
It feels like you get sick or something, right?
I think it's too long to where your body would start wondering, is this how we're... Are we not
life now?
Are we not going to the office anymore and we're not allowed to stop?
You get off the Ferris wheel and then all of a sudden, like, you can't walk. You got to get your land legs back.
Pretty much. Maybe some of it sounds fun. Some of it we need to work with.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Listen, I really want you to have a great trick-or-treat and fall costume party or whatever the heck you're doing this year. I want it to be great, but the reality of it is that everybody's going to be wandering around talking about how your party's okay, but it sure could be a whole lot better.
If you had something?
If only you had the giant skeleton.
Oh, the one from Home Depot?
Have you seen this?
Yes, have you not? He was all over TikTok forever, and now you can see him in the wild if someone was fortunate enough to get the giant skeleton.
Well, that's the thing. It's 12 feet tall.
It's big.
And it's gone.
Yeah. It's been gone.
It is the 3080 of skeletons.
It was very popular on TikTok, especially with people showing how to get him home.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Some people would buy, like, the display one, and so you'd have to just, strap the skeleton to the roof of your car.
Which is amazing.
And then others, I remember I watched someone who was trying to get into Canada somehow to get it from a Home Depot in Canada because they live near the border, but you can't really cross.
You can't go to Canada.
Exactly. So someone had to ship it to them from a store in Canada. But this skeleton thing, there's one, I had something on Saturday. I drove through a neighborhood. There was one I saw there.
Oh, you did? You actually seen one in the wild?
Yeah, and they have like 30 normal-sized skeletons all set up around their house in different places, like the roof and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
They were all in.
Well, there's a guy not too far from where I live. He has a Ghostbusters car, like an Ecto car, and he has... Like, at the end of Ghostbusters, when they turn into, like, the dog things, he has one of those that is sitting on top of the car.
Wow. He's invested.
It's too much for me. But who am I? So this 12-foot skeleton everybody wants, $300 retail. They're selling for over $1,500 on eBay.
Whoa.
And
not surprised.
Shipping's got to be brutal, right?
Probably. It's heavy.
It's got to be heavy. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. They're selling for $1,500.
Maybe the shipping's included, even though it's eBay. I don't think so, but maybe.
Well, Nikki, eBay will tell you that if you want your auction to sell, include free shipping.
You should. So I think maybe the huge increase is because of the fact that shipping could be included.
Oh my gosh, I love this. The one woman who they're interviewing here, she's like, yeah, I think... He's too big to take down, so we think we're going to just get him a big Santa hat.
Oh, and just make him Christmas as well?
You know what? If a lot of people are making their Christmas trees into, like, trick-or-trees, then I'm going to take these skeletons and make them Santa skeletons?
You could.
Okay.
The skeleton stuff I'm not into at Halloween. I'm not into Halloween decorations. I usually just save the energy for Christmas, and that's about it. But some people have gone all out, and this guy's been included. I just don't know, how do you store this stuff?
I don't know.
Where's the space to store the giant skeleton?
Well, I'll tell you, the guy that I was telling you about, I went to his house and checked it out because, like, a trick-or-treat he has it open up. His garage is full of
Halloween stuff.
It's like a display of Halloween stuff that I believe he has in there all year.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. But you know what? Okay. Do your thing. But I walked past somebody's house yesterday, and they have a, Jason from Friday the 13th. They have like a guy, like a full blown, like 6.5 foot tall.
Cut out, or
it's not a mannequin, but it's a something. But I mean, like it's a person, like a statue or something, with a bloody machete and a hockey mask. And I walked past, and I was like, it's fine. It's your life. But that's not what I want greeting me when I get home.
Well, what about the giant skeleton?
How about a puppy?
If you want to spend $1,500 on a $300 item, you can.
Then get me that new graphics card.
The Riot with Obadiah Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
So now everyone is getting on board it's spooky time. So let's put a ghost pepper in our something.
I feel like that has had a resurgence. And I mean, we participated in it. We did last week a food fight with the Dunkin' Donuts ghost pepper donut. Mm-hmm. Not exactly shockingly spicy. Like, it's okay.
It was
but
not.
I feel like some of this stuff could get pretty hot.
Yeah, well, in this particular case, the Dunkin' Donuts thing I wasn't really afraid of. I don't want this.
It's still, though, mass-produced. And when something is just on shelves in a normal sort of company setting, like, they're not going to make this be too spicy.
Well, because
it's just not.
They don't want it to be. We're talking about, it's Hormel. They've announced the Ghost Reaper chili.
Yeah.
It's the world's hottest chili and beans.
In a can.
In a can.
So I'm sure you can make hotter on your own, but this is just in a can,
right?
Mass produced.
So that's the big deal. But they've got to be careful because they don't want like somebody buying this and taking it home and having a heart attack. And they're like, but it says it on the can.
They don't want to be liable for it. So I'm sure it's hot, but it's not like Ghost Reaper pepper chili on your own if you made it hot.
Yeah. So the photo of it that they're selling with is like, hey, put this on your hot dog. And it's on fire. And I mean literally on fire.
It's on fire. So the ghost pepper and the Carolina Reaper peppers, they're adding. So both of those go into their classic chili recipe. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're doing. It's going to start on the 25th online. Oh, that's interesting. And I don't think you can get it in stores. It's just online at Target.
You know what that tells me?
Maybe it is a little hotter.
Maybe it is a little hotter because they don't want to risk putting it on the shelves.
And someone picking up the wrong one. Like, you want to be intentional with buying this thing.
Oof.
And it could be fun to try.
Count me out, dude. I don't like chili. I don't like...
You don't like hot stuff?
I mean, not like that. And, something that's got a little spice to it, wonderful. I love it. Hey, we're going to debilitate you and et cetera. No.
Not into that.
No, I'm not. There was a time when I was like, yeah, let's make it hot. Let's make it hot. And then I don't know what happened, but one day I was like, why? I can't really taste it.
Yeah. Well, it can go too hot. That is a problem. And then it ruins what you're actually eating.
And so I've changed, Nikki. I've changed.
You've changed, so maybe not for this. But
yeah.
Hormel, again, their normal canned chili, they're adding ghost peppers and Reaper peppers, the Carolina ones.
Well, if you can't have a massive 12-foot skeleton, maybe you can have a can of hot chili.
If for the Halloween season.
Whee!
Or if you want to risk, again, the donut that we tried. That's how you do it.
Wow.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. Radio U.
Earlier this week, Nikki and I learned that there was a rally in which more than 20 people showed up to show their support for the reopening of Disneyland.
Whether you want it reopened or not, put that aside. It was just very interesting to see because a lot of times if they're covering a rally, they do really tight shots.
Yes.
And they just don't tell you how many people are there. So if you're just a observer on the news or online, you think, wow, what a really big event. Yeah.
It's happening.
Then you pull back and you find out they were saying there was more than 20 people at this rally, which means there was less than 30.
That's exactly what it means.
They would have said more than 30 if they crossed over that. So it was just kind of funny to us to see that wording for it.
Well, Nikki, hang on to that thought. More than 20 and less than 30, because it looks like that's how many people will be allowed to go to Disneyland when it reopens.
They're basically saying Disney, well, it's almost impossible, though, for it to be able to run and stay open with the upcoming rules that they would be giving it.
They're allowing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to allow Disneyland to reopen at 25% capacity.
So what's Orlando at then? What was it opened at?
I don't know the answer to that.
Was it half capacity or was it 25%?
It's very reduced, but I don't know just how much it's reduced. You know what? We'll just Google it. Let's see. Disney World Corona capacity. Let's see if there's a number for that.
What is its numbers that it's allowed to have in?
Again, we know that it's reduced numbers, but...
And Florida has changed more. Compared to California, it might have different rules, which is why it's been open for a while.
Okay, it looks like...
Is it also 20?
Disney World is also in the neighborhood of 25%. So I have some friends going to Disney today, actually.
We've got a few that have gone there and said, as long as you're fine personally wearing a mask and you don't try to go around that anyway, it's actually not bad to go there.
Not bad. It's probably the way you've always wished Disney would be.
I've only been there when it's been at like 110% capacity. Where they've let more people in than I think it actually hold.
And at 110% capacity, they're like, we're not even busy today.
And at 110 degrees. So it's so hot and it's completely full.
So it's probably a dream come true. An
to even go there,
Magic Kingdom.
It'd be so weird to be at Disney with so little people there.
So I don't know that I don't think I have an actual opening date yet, but they are going to allow Disneyland in California to
California unveiled some of its decisions on theme parks, and so that's why Disney is included in that.
They're in that mix. So in the meantime, Nikki and I still locked up behind closed doors, staying safe for you.
You just walk right out.
To bring you the hard-hitting Disney news.
The door's not locked at all.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, what are your Thanksgiving plans right now?
As far as I think how things will go, it'll be a small family gathering at someone's place with just a couple of people. So that should be about it.
How many people? I need a count. I'm going to talk to the governor later today, and he's been wondering.
6 people? Maybe?
Can we get it to 5?
I don't know.
What if you don't go?
Okay, that's fine. Cole, I'll do it. Cool. I'll take one for the team.
No problem.
I'm not a Thanksgiving person. I never have been as much. And whenever everybody's like, no, we want a massive family gathering, I want to do all this stuff for Thanksgiving, I just like to stay home and have a day off. So
sounds good to me.
I'll take one for the team if I need to be the person who can't go.
Well, Nikki, right now I am looking at what the people at Popeyes are doing. They're bringing back the Cajun turkey for this year.
So at some places, like restaurants and stuff, you can actually order a turkey cooked from them. So Popeyes in the past has done their Cajun turkeys, which have been very popular. You just have to order it ahead of time, and there you go. There's your turkey.
So the idea is you grab this turkey.
Yes, you do grab the Popeyes turkey.
From them.
Okay.
And it comes frozen but pre-cooked.
Okay.
So unlike, if you went to the store, you actually get a frozen turkey. You got to cook that thing. It's just been killed and shipped to you. This has already been cooked. So you're basically just warming it up.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think we could. They say reviews for it are pretty good. You run it at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And it weighs between 9 and 13 pounds.
There you go.
That sounds
good. Can I air fry that baby? Probably can't fit it in there, but...
you know what? I'll bet you're not supposed to because it's pre-cooked.
Oh, I think it's fine. I put a lot of things that are frozen and pre-cooked.
Well, that's also true.
Yeah, you put a lot in there that are fine.
Wait, did you say air fryer?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, your air fryer is your oven, right?
No, I have an oven and I have an air fryer.
Oh, I thought your oven had like an air fryer.
My last oven like a convection oven.
Right.
So it can do all that stuff with it.
That's what I was going to say is that, maybe a convection oven.
If not, what's the other way? The deep frying way?
Yeah.
I still want to try that.
It's wonderful.
It sounds so good. But now with all the rules, too, it's not like I can just invite myself over to a neighbor's house if I see them deep frying the turkey.
Sure you can.
Like, please, can I have a bite?
It might not be the right thing.
But it's something.
It's still a thing.
So Popeyes is doing this. But again, a lot of restaurants in your area, I'm sure, are doing something similar where you can just get your turkey from them.
Maybe I just want to have it just because. Like
just on your, like anytime?
Like, hey, you know what? How about we make, what is today? Wednesday. Wednesday could be a turkey day.
Yeah, a little early. Let's get through Halloween before we start breaking out the turkey.
All right. Oh, yes. That's the line. That's the line we're drawing here, okay? Like, I can put my Christmas tree up in August.
But
I can have Cadbury Scream Eggs in, like, April. But let's just stop talking about eating turkey before Halloween.
Thank you.
Is absurd.
I know. I don't feel like we should cross that line yet. You should wait until the appropriate time.
Well, you know what, Nikki? I appreciate the fact that we finally found your limit.
So what do they say? Do you just get it from the actual Popeye store, or what do you do? Do they ship it to you?
Let's see. I think you just
pick it up from there.
Pick it up from the store. You got to pre-order it.
You have to pre-order. Man, please do that, and then go through the drive-thru so they can hand you the turkey through the drive-thru window. I just want to see if it fits.
They say that you can do that, and they also sell side dishes and stuff that you can heat up. That sounds fine to me. Like, I'm totally fine. If you want to invite me over for Thanksgiving, you're like, well, I didn't cook it. Did you warm it up? Great.
It's fine.
Did you not? Is it just, but it's warm now? Great.
If not, you could have this for the, like you go to your families and then sometimes they'll give you some leftovers, but maybe it's not enough. You want to have enough to go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's a good call.
You could have a weekend turkey. And you could heat this up. That's not hard.
Weekend turkey. That sounds like a party.
Yes, it does. A small one, though, right?
Well, a 13-pound turkey, that's not like that big of a turkey.
No, I mean, like you're not having a big party. That would be wrong.
Well, certainly not. I mean, come on.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So let's talk Fast and Furious, Nikki. Your long-standing feud with Vin Diesel aside, they have been movies that I'm embarrassed to say it, but I've liked them.
How many are there?
I think 115.
No, like really? Are we at 8, 9, 10?
We are, by now, we should be getting ready to buy 9.
That was the
Blu-ray.
one that's been postponed?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the one that
was supposed to come out this year.
It was supposed to come out in the springtime, and they said it's not even next year, right? It's the year after?
No, it's coming. Well, it's supposed to be out next year.
Oh, I thought it got pushed back even further.
They are saying F9, May 28th, 2021.
Gotcha.
So
it can still change.
It's just something you say.
Who knows?
Just something you say.
So people are starting to ask at that point, how many more Fast and Furious movies are there going to be?
Well, there's an answer now. Okay, F9 doesn't count. A lot of you know what I'm saying, right?
That'll be May 28th of next year.
And then there are going to be 2 more.
And then that's it?
And that's it.
So I think, though, you have to watch how they're saying this. There's going to be 2 more directed by Justin Lin, who's done like 7 of the 9.
I know, but they say that, but that's it.
It's all in the wording. They'll come to a close, yes, with 2 more, but I think they could probably, if they still do well in those years when they come out, be like, well, we just met with him. Now we have a new guy.
You really think so?
Maybe.
I don't know, Nikki. If there's anything that I feel like I've been able to lean on, it's Hollywood's transparency and truth when they talk about sequels.
You're right. Normally, they wouldn't lie to us. But give it a couple of years, then if not, they'll just redo them all. They've been around for so long.
Well, it is good news that Justin Lin is going to be directing them. Did he direct the 9th one? Let me double check on that.
Yes, he did.
He did. He's the reason, really, that those movies have become what they are. He started directing them with Tokyo Drift, which, okay, here we go. That movie's way better than it should have been. It should have been terrible, and you watch it, and you're like, you know what? I don't know. It's not that bad.
As long as it looks good, sometimes with movies, it's flashy enough.
Then they bring him back to do 4, and he has built this franchise, basically. Now, the one movie lately that he didn't direct was F8, and that's the one that I didn't think was really as good.
Yeah.
And it was directed by some guy, F. Gary Gray or whatever, so they brought Justin Lin back to do the next 3.
Just because they were more comfortable with him.
Yeah, and the sad part is he went off to direct Star Trek Beyond, which really didn't do well.
Oh, that's too bad.
But it did have a motorcycle sequence in it, which is the first time we've had one of those in Star Trek. So
Fast and Furious 10 and 11, those films have been given a go, but they don't know when they'll come out, but that'll probably wrap up that franchise.
Well, sometime in the future, we'll probably have a new movie again.
So the Fast and Furious movies, it's Universal's biggest franchise, and it ranks as the 10th highest grossing franchise of all time, about $5.8 billion total worldwide.
Well, they're to the point now where every time they put one out, they make $1 billion.
Still brings in money.
It's crazy.
But they're ready to close it up after 2 more. Well, and then the one next year. So that's 3 more.
Wow, Whatever.
So eventually, it's just right around the corner.
Nikki, there's $3 billion to make.
Yes.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, London's calling.
That's right. New artist, Faith Child, to Radio U with his song New Era, which everybody has been loving. And Faith is on the phone with us. And you can head over to our Facebook page at Radio U Riot if you actually want to have a chance to look at him as we talk to him right now.
Good morning, Faith Child.
Good morning. I love the way you say my name.
Really?
I think it's good. All right.
Yeah.
So are we supposed to call you Faith Child or just Faith?
You can call me Faith moving forward.
Okay, cool. Or Mr. Child?
Yeah, you can call me Faith. I get that all the time. You know what? Whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your fancy, we can make it work.
Nice.
Okay.
And you're in London, right?
Yeah, I'm in London. Can I say we're the best city right now? Coronavirus is very crazy here, so I don't think I can say that right now.
Wait, okay.
Everybody's just doing what they're doing right now, wherever they're at.
So
Yeah.
Are you saying that Corona is bad there right now, or it's not?
Corona has cleared my music diary for like the whole year. So
Right.
basing on that, it's very bad. And we've just gone into tier 2 of lockdown, which means that you can't go to houses of loved ones, etc. So it's quite crazy at the moment.
Okay. So how
Now,
does...
was London the place where for a while there you had to limit your workout time outside unless you were like walking a dog, to where people were renting or borrowing dogs to be able to go outside more?
That is the most British thing ever. Yes, people were doing that. Like, people that haven't worked out since like elementary school, all of a sudden they're now in gym gear. And like, you haven't even lost any calories. You're not doing anything. You're just wearing the gym gear just to get outside and see your friends.
Everybody was trying to find a workaround, and that we got the news of that one as being a creative workaround with that solution. Not saying it's good or bad, but that was a workaround.
Well, so be real with us, Faith. Were you out in your workout gear for the first time in 15 years?
I'll be honest. I was terrible going to the gym prior to lockdown. And then when they now announced the gyms are opening, I said, amazing. I'm looking forward to not going. I'm looking forward to not going to the gym, you know. But you know what? I'll tell you something. I did a charity walk last week, Tuesday, for 7 hours.
Wow.
I did 36,000 steps. And I walked for 14.7 miles.
Whoa.
So it was quite a distance. Yeah, quite a distance.
So did you do that virtually? Because here in the United States, virtual races and walks became the entire thing to do, to where you weren't actually going outside to do it. You're just doing it in place or, on a treadmill, that sort of thing.
No, it was real. Like, my feet got drenched. It got soaked. You know when you agree to something, but you don't actually understand the magnitude of what you're agreeing to? So, like, some of the crew had, like, Wellington boots, and I had, like, my gym trainers. And I got soaked.
Aww.
But it was worth it for sure.
Yeah, but you don't understand the severity of what you're committing to do until last moment, until it actually happens.
Yeah. Well, you think, like walking's not that hard. It's no big deal. When you walk 14 miles, it's a way bigger deal than you think it is.
Absolutely, because we just don't do that as often or if ever. So
we are talking.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So when I'm in the States, I'm often in Dallas. So normally I'm in Dallas, Texas. That's where I normally am. And like, you rarely see people walking. Like, you drive everywhere. You have drive-in banks, drive-in pharmacies, drive through everything. In England, you have to walk at least a short distance, but you guys have the luxury of literally driving to get anything you guys need. You're blessed.
That is true, but Texas is an exception because Texas is so intense.
It's big.
So it's just more of intense of a place. So, yeah, you definitely here, if it doesn't have, especially during the quarantine stuff, if it did not have a drive-through, everything was so shut down for it. So even for the future for us, everything will even become more drive-through if possible, or curbside, because, no one goes in anymore.
It's true. It's true. So, Faith Child, talk to us about music a little bit here. How do you go from being in the London scene to we're in the United States playing your music? How does that make it across the pond?
It's beautiful. So it's beautiful. I think the joy of technology, they mentioned a minute ago about whether I was doing my walk virtually. So specifically about New Era, I literally went on Instagram, DM'd Ty Brazzle. He was like, hey, I love this song. Let's do something. We did it. He got back and said, hey, do you want to get KB on the song? I was like, yeah. And then he said, okay, let me text him. So he texts KB, and then KB texts back, and he said, yeah, let's do it. Now, I have clearly cut down the timeline of all of that. Sure. It wasn't that straightforward, but that's how it translates. I've got a very fun fact for you. In 2010, I did a tour through, I think, 3 states. And when we got to Tuskegee, Alabama, the previous mayor gave us our own day. Aww. So the 15th of October is the British are coming day in Tuskegee, Alabama. We haven't been back ever since. We don't see it, but we have the certificate and the stamp of the mayor. It's brilliant.
That's awesome.
You need to take that certificate, show up in the U.S. and be like, hi, we're here.
Oh, the second you get to customs, just show that, and then I'm sure your trip in will be even better.
I'm sure.
That's how you pave the way.
So talk to us about, life there. We've talked a little bit of London life. But
Faith is in London, so yeah.
What, you put out some song, you do, as a musician in London during this lockdown, what are you doing?
I'm literally recording demos because the studio is actually still shut. Studio is still shut. So I'm just recording demos from home, mixing songs we've already recorded. I've literally done only one online performance during this season. And it was like only one song that I recorded in the kitchen. Then my drummer recorded in his house. My guitarist recorded in his house. And we meshed it all together. But I'll be honest, it is boring right now. It is really boring. Like some people have tried to do like drive-in pop-up shows in car parks or whatnot. Sure. But then that got cancelled. So I don't know if that's the government or Live Nation or whoever's cancelling it. But it really sucks right now, man. It's a really bad time.
Right on. So
it's hard because for artists, I mean, that's how you're connecting and that's having a chance to promote and show everything that you spent so hard to create, or even like you said, with studios being shut down, to not have a chance to create the same way. That it has been a unique time for our bands that we play, which is why we always stress to promote the bands and the artists however possible on social media and merchandise and supporting the music, because it really is an important time to still help them.
So if I
thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, if I wanted to follow Faith Child, get a little bit more of you, where your socials, are you more of a Twitter guy? You're more Instagram? What are you doing?
So I'm more of Instagram guy. I post a selfie a day, keeps vanity away. I know that makes no sense. I know it makes no sense, but hey, it makes me feel good. So if you do want to keep up to date with me, primarily RadioU is where you should be following.
This guy
if you're
right
not
here.
following, yeah. So first of all, RadioU is the place to be. The Riot is the show.
Faith, it just is wonderful.
This guy.
This is good. He knows how to do this.
And then secondary, you can follow me on the gram, Faith Child. And I do reply if you're polite. Don't say stuff. If
just
you're
say
polite,
nice
you get a
things.
reply.
Well, make sure everybody follows Faith Child and says hello. And it was so awesome to meet you. I mean, technology, like we keep saying, is great. It makes it possible to connect with people no matter where they're at.
So, hey, it's been great talking to you. And I know we had some technical difficulties, but thanks for working through those with us.
Absolute pleasure. Once Trump opens the borders, I'll be live in the studio with you guys. So
you
that's
can
a
come
promise.
on in anytime
Let's
you
make
want.
it work.
Just remember your certificate from your day from the mayor in Alabama. That'll be important. You can come over now.
Absolute pleasure.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So who is excited about today?
Or is this like we're supposed to have a good attitude about every day? Then yay!
Well, I mean,
or is there a reason?
Today's kind of special.
What's special about today?
All right. Today is the 1 month anniversary of my birthday.
Today?
Today is.
Well, I didn't know.
Come on.
What are we supposed to do with it today?
Well, what did you find in the fridge this morning?
Well, you brought your own cake in, though. Someone gave him a cake yesterday. But it wasn't for your 1 month anniversary of your birthday. We're not celebrating that.
Yes, we are.
Who? When?
And let me ask you a question. Did you have some cake this morning?
I have not.
Okay. If you eat that cake,
then I am celebrating.
Then you're celebrating.
Fine, I won't. No, just teasing.
That's fine. That's fine. You know what, Nikki? If you want to keep punishing yourself, that's fine.
Well, the only person who loses out is me because I'm not having cake.
That's right. And, the part about this to me that's really hard, though, is like, I was gone, had to quarantine a little bit, get the COVID test. Here, we'll scrape your brain.
It was a negative.
It was a negative. And I was supposed to come back to this, welcome back party.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. So here we are on my special day, and there's nothing but what I've provided. And then your response is, I don't even want your cake.
It's just teasing you. And you made me sound like, is that like, for some reason, one of the Frozen characters? I don't know which one, but you made me sound like that.
It's fine. Well,
it's really just you're not supposed to be the one calling the shots on the actual celebrations. When it comes to your birthday, others are supposed to come in and make those happen or not have them.
That's a recipe for unhappiness.
Yes, and that's what a birthday is about. You're going to be unhappy or you're going to be happy. It just depends on where the candles lay.
This is because Nikki's birthday every year, her parents are gone. It's just like, it's fine. There's nobody here to celebrate.
Sometimes
I don't care.
My mom comes back. I will tell you, my mom comes back. But birthdays are not what they used to be when you were a kid. I mean, people cared then.
Well, isn't it time for us to bring it back? Isn't this an opportunity? Nikki, this is your chance to run a completely countercultural operation, and it starts with your coworker.
It does.
This is your chance to change everything, to push back.
Well, let's open it up then. Can we say, hey, if you want to wish Obi a happy 1 month anniversary to his birthday, feel free to text 877 to RadioU and say hello and a happy one month from your birthday.
Yeah, and if you want to send digital gift cards, that's Obadiah at RadioU.com.
We're not asking for that.
I didn't say.
We're not asking for that.
You to.
We're not
I didn't
opening.
Say you need
no,
to. I said
it's not about that. It's not about that.
Your parties suck. You're like, it's not about that, which it totally is.
It's not. It can't be about that.
Where, is this written down somewhere?
Well, yeah, that's party etiquette.
Party foul. Don't bring anything, and no, we're not even having a party. And no, you can't throw your own party. Other people have to throw a party for you.
Welcome to this year, all right? You're getting nothing.
And other people have to want to throw a party for you.
Yes, basically that's it. And you don't get to celebrate a month after your birthday. The celebration was your birthday.
Yep.
That's it. That's what we get.
We're not celebrating my birthday today. We're celebrating my birthday anniversary.
Your birthday anniversary.
It's different. Mm-hmm. It's totally different.
Feels different, doesn't it?
It's probably even better.
Yeah, better than the original day.
Yeah, so it's fine. I don't know. You got a lot of pushback on things that revolve around me. That's what I notice. It's like if this was your anniversary
maybe because
birthday,
that's what we're pushing a lot. Is that it?
No, it's not. I'll tell you what we did. We spent my whole birthday pushing RadioU.
It did fall during the fundraiser. I will say that.
You know what? I'm going to be using my platform to push me and my birthday anniversaries the rest of the year.
Last thoughts on this. Am I supposed to schedule every month?
Wait, did you just wrap it up?
I was just saying.
Are you just transitioning?
My last question about this.
That's not what you said. Okay, last thoughts on this.
My last thought on this is, so am I supposed to celebrate or plan a celebration every month from your birthday?
Yes. Nikki, Carl has a relevant text. He says, did the Grinch show up early this year and replace Nikki?
Me? Oh, boy. That's fine.
Josh says, happy 1/12th birthday.
Oh, Mike. I like Mike. Nikki sounds mean. Mike, I can't encourage this. He'll keep going with this. It'll never end.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
That's cool. You know, it will, Nikki. I'm going to die eventually.
Jeez.
And then, you know what? You can go to my funeral and you can get up.
Stop it.
And you can say to everybody, finally,
the birthday
I don't have to
stops.
celebrate any more birthdays.
Because he's dead.
I'm glad you're dead.
Oh, fine. Happy 1 month after your birthday, Obi.
Now, is it so hard?
I already wished you.
Is it so hard?
Now,
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously. This is The Riot on Radio U.
I had my cake.
you had some cake?
I did. What a celebration we're having.
Good. It's 1 month from Obi's, not till Obi's birthday, but 1 month since
my
we've
birthday.
been honored to have Obadiah's birthday. And that is a cause for celebration again.
For I'm a jolly good fellow.
Yay!
For I'm a jolly good fellow. For I'm a jolly good fellow.
And humble as well.
And nobody can deny. Send the gift cards in now.
No, you can't. It is just celebrating. You already had your gift day, but this is this is like an honor day. Just an honor.
You know what? Free stuff.
Fine. I'm not going to tell you no anymore. Maybe if I don't tell you no, you'll stop.
Jason says this is what happens when we put up barriers in the workplace. Either that or Obadiah is on cold medicine.
Obi gets a certain way when you were coming off a sinus infection anyways, which I don't know if it ever really truly went away, but you get a certain way when you get a little tickle in your nose, a little something.
What are you saying?
Well, I think he put it like this time of year, which is basically cold and flu season.
Actually, Jason has a follow-up text here that says, I'm just saying that both SAD and sinuses. I forgot my light this morning.
Your light therapy?
Allergies are on my Riot bingo card, and I'm trying to figure out which one I need to check off. And yes, Nikki has a tone, but I assume it's because she was dealing with you for the last 3 hours.
Why did you text him? Nikki gets especially mean this time of year. I don't get mean. I'm just trying to hold it down.
No. What I said was, I said to him, what are you saying? What's that mean? Nikki gets especially mean this time of year. There should have been a question mark there.
In response to his, I gotcha.
Yeah. Nikki, what I'm trying to do is something that I find, like, I'm not the best at it, but I'm good at blame shifting. I like to take what's going on and blame it on somebody other than myself.
And I'm in the room, so it'll happen.
She is right here. You know what I mean? Like, who am I going to blame it on? Somebody that's not here? No.
It's more fun when it's right here.
I mean, we could do that whole thing where I just blame the president, and that's whoever is the president at the time. So, whether it's a thanks Obama or a thanks Trump.
You know what? I think there is a little tickle, like I said, in your nose.
I told you.
I think you have a little something going on.
See, do you know what this is? Do you guys know what gaslighting is? It's when they try to convince you that it's your problem.
Have to convince
You're like,
you.
You know what?
You know it.
You know what?
You know it.
You're obviously sick.
This you right here, this is what it is. This is what happens.
Have you had your depression light yet?
No.
Sit in front of that. Did you remember to take your medicine?
No one's saying it like that, but we are saying it.
What?
See?
Listen, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to get serious. This is my job. I take it seriously.
All right? You start yelling in the morning.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I'm not above it.
Above what?
Milk.
Milk, yeah.
I'll drink the fruit of the cow.
If needed, you'll drink it.
In reality, it's not really my thing. I'm not much of a milk drinker.
What color are you, though? Like, which one?
What do you mean?
Like, red is whole milk, isn't it? Or
oh, no, you know what?
Like, which one do you drink?
Skim milk.
Skim?
I started drinking skim milk in college. My mom was always like, it's gross. And so when I went to college, I tried it thinking, oh, this is going to be gross. And I was like, wait, no, this is great.
Is that how you rebelled?
Yeah, that was my... That's it. That was my pushback.
We all push back in different ways when we get out of the house.
My whole life.
I can drink this.
Skim milk is so good. And another thing,
I never want to go home again.
I hate it here. So they are now working on, and this I didn't know, Impossible Milk.
So milk alternative?
The people that make Impossible burgers, the people that make Impossible whatever, they say right on the verge of going to just the cusp of a breakthrough.
Well, don't we have enough alternatives already?
No, we don't. Okay, they don't make money on those alternatives.
Yeah, they want their own branded one.
So they need to start making money on those alternatives, which brings us to Impossible Milk.
So what will it be made out of, though?
Faux meats? No, that's the other stuff they make. It'll be made of plant stuff.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No, listen.
Dirt.
It doesn't say. It's going to be plants, but they're not saying like what else it is. It's just plant-based. They say it's not nut-based.
Sure.
And it's not going to be soy-based,
so
which a lot of
else.
The other milks that you see, you basically end up with like almond milk or a soy milk. Or
cashew milk,
cashew milk,
There's
stuff like that.
so many of them.
And so, I mean, unless I'm completely misreading it,
It'll be something else?
Yeah. The other thing they say that they are not ready to put out in public, but they are researching, is a faux
ice cream.
Egg.
Oh, what?
An egg.
Oh, there's lots of substitutions for eggs.
They say it will be a crackable egg.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, I don't know. Right there, that maybe went too far.
That's what they say.
That's odd.
Yeah. So it looks like it's not a thing yet. They say that over the next 12 months, they think that they'll be ready to probably release some Impossible Milk.
Would anybody want Impossible Milk? Or the question is, do we already have enough milk alternatives? It's too late.
I don't know. The only thing I think is that it seems to me, and I don't know what's going to go exactly into Impossible Milk, but it seems like if you don't want to drink milk from a cow, just straight up almond milk seems like it would be a better alternative than whatever they're making in the lab there.
Well, it's hard because with the Impossible one, you're also going to be probably paying for the name that comes along with it. So it might not be as cheap because alternative milks can get really expensive.
Very expensive.
Which is why the Costco 3-pack of the almond milk is actually a really good deal.
It actually is. She's not lying.
That's all that I do.
She's not lying.
Because I don't like cow's milk, so go on that.
Okay, do you not like the flavor, or do you just not like that it's from a cow?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Nikki? Impossible Milk might not be for you because they say it's going to be almost indistinguishable.
Yeah, not really. I'm good with an almond milk taste. I prefer that.
Almond milk is good.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on Radio U.
I want to talk about your neighbor. The people that they seem so unassuming. They seem like they're probably just great people. They're just a little quiet. They don't do much.
What are they doing then?
Well, they're involved in an underground flying squirrel trafficking ring.
Oh, is that a thing?
It's
I think if you
totally a thing.
If you look up any animal or any sort of thing that you could use to fight or like have
Is that what they do with them?
I don't know, like a money sort of thing. It's probably, there's a chance that could involve any single creature.
Okay, here we go. You
so
ready
like if
for
they're
this?
not doing dog fighting, they're doing squirrel fighting or squirrel flying.
We've got 7 people in the United States that have been charged with a Florida-based international flying squirrel trafficking scheme. This is insane to me.
Oh, they sell them then?
They deployed 10,000 squirrel traps across Florida.
Yeah.
They then sold, they say, as many as, we don't know how many exactly, 3,600 flying squirrels.
So I'm sorry, they trapped like wild ones?
Yeah.
Okay, so then they took those and then sold them back out?
Yes.
To different places where maybe you don't have flying squirrels?
I guess. And not in the United States, though. They were being flown to Asia. Oh. They say they're very popular as pets in Korea.
Really?
If I understand it correctly, they're a lot, like flying squirrels are smaller than, say, your standard squirrel.
So you can maybe hide them better if you're not allowed to have that. But you're not supposed to have a flying squirrel as a pet. Just in case someone needs to know that.
You're not?
Here, you're not supposed to.
Are you sure?
I think it falls under the category of they're supposed to be in the wild.
Now, in Florida, they are a protected species.
Yeah.
Which means you're right. You can't hunt them. You can't anything them. But in different states, that might not be true. I don't know. I mean, you can domesticate anything else. Why not a squirrel?
I think it just depends on if it's good for the squirrel or not.
you know what? People are
What's
roaming
good for the
around.
goose?
They're like, hey, I got this snake. It likes to wrap around me in my sleep because we're friends. I don't see what having a squirrel.
I also don't think in some areas, in some places, you're supposed to have the snakes, too.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because then what happens is your flying squirrel, you want it to stop flying in your apartment. You get tired of it, and then you let it out into an area where it's not supposed to be.
It's out flying.
Yeah.
You're like,
Or it doesn't fly anymore.
I swear to you, I just saw a squirrel fly by the window. I swear I did.
We don't have those here. You do. Your neighbor just dumped his outside.
You know those guys that just moved in across the street? Mm-hmm. Something strikes me as a little off over there.
And all they're doing is having flying squirrel races in their place.
It's quieter than drone races.
So whose squirrel gets to the other side of the room fastest?
What's the big deal?
Oh, that's exactly what's going on.
So basically, an anonymous tip came in. Hey, I think some people are trapping flying squirrels. That's a phone call you don't get every day. But I guess when you work at the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission,
maybe you do.
You get phone calls.
Did they
right?
say how much you could sell one for, or what the average price is they were getting?
I don't have an average price, but they think that they sold probably around $1 million worth. So if we do the math, 1 million of those, 3,600 is how many? Does that come out to? That can't be right. Would that be around 30,000 per squirrel?
No, they're not selling them for that much.
Or would it be 3,000?
No, I bet there's a number off.
It would be 3. Yeah, I'm 1 0 off. They'd be about 3,000 a squirrel.
That I guess is possible.
Yeah.
How do you ship that then? Do you go to UPS, or does it have to have holes in the box? Do you let it sleep? Do you slip it something and then send it out? How do you do that?
I don't know.
I've never shipped something alive.
To be clear, you always kill it first?
No, I've just not had the opportunity.
I've 1 more 0 off. It would be about $300 a piece.
Affordable. That's cheaper than a dog and a cat.
See how inexpensive it is? Wow. You could have your own flying squirrel.
You could. Now everybody's interested.
All we got to do is figure out how to ship it to you alive.
Yeah.
No problem.
Aw, poor squirrels. They're like, where are we going?
You know what?
What are we doing?
Maybe they're having a great time. Wouldn't you like to go to Korea?
Oh my gosh, a flying squirrel flying in an airplane. Doesn't know what to do.
It's just this is great. That's like us going in a car. It's like, you know what? It's so much less effort than flying on my own.
They would love it. They never want to fly again on their own.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
All right, Nikki, let's talk about what they're calling the science of scare. It's these people at Broadband Choices. I think they're the same people that were like, hey, watch 24 hours of horror movies for $1,000.
Same
I think
sort
it might
of
be them.
Company.
But just to be clear, this is from Forbes, so it's business. Broadband Choices, what they did was they took 50 people, and they of different.
So what? Everybody that was in the office that day?
Maybe.
It's a very small study.
I wouldn't exactly call it scientific, and yet science.
They'll put it under that category.
So they took 50 people of different ages and had them watch 100 hours of scary movies.
Yeah.
And then they compiled this little bit. I love this. They watched each movie in 5.1 surround sound. 50 people consumed over 120 hours of the best, quote unquote, horror movies, each fitted with a heart rate monitor to measure which movies got their blood pumping the most.
The most? Do they give a list then? They
do. I'll say, if you want to talk about classics on the list, there's a top 35 here. Get Out at 34. Mm-hmm. The Omen at 32. The original Friday the 13th at 28. The Blair Witch Project 23. Alien 24. The Thing 25. Alien and The Thing would be, that's my idea. That's
your style of it, if you're going to see something?
That doesn't make me, I'm not scared of those, but I'm in for that.
I would put something like Aliens in a different category than the Blair Witch Project, but they still, I guess, all fall under that.
So here we go. In the top 20, The Exorcist hit 17. It hit 19. A Quiet Place, 12. That actually surprised me. But you know what? It was really tense.
See, where else? Tense. Intense movies, they also count in this genre.
Okay. So let's go into the top 5. At 5, you had Paranormal Activity.
So these are the most, they're saying, intense horror movies?
Based on heart rate.
Heart rate.
Yeah. And so Paranormal Activity at 5. Hereditary at 4. The Conjuring at 3, Insidious at 2, and then they say number 1 horror movie according to like their study thing.
And according to your heart rate.
Sinister.
Which one's that?
It was a movie that came out in 2012.
S-I-N? Sinister?
S-I-N-I-S-T-E-R.
Okay, so 2012. Is that Ethan Hawke?
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Washed up true crime writer Ellison Oswalt finds a box of Super 8 home movies, and that's all I need to know.
Yeah, no thanks.
That's all. Yeah, it is Ethan Hawke.
I don't really like intense or scary movies.
I in general don't do horror. You might be able to get me to watch something like quote unquote classic horror, but when it's like the demon under your bed or the doll that's possessed,
it's always the doll.
I'm out. Like you're not going to get me to watch that movie.
Like A Quiet Place or something like that.
That's different.
That is different. But all the other ones have this sort of feeling about them, and I can't even sleep with my back turned to the door still for other movies that I've seen. I don't want to make it worse.
No, I'm done. I'm done with that.
And you can't dangle your foot over the bed, and you're like, why can't I just have my foot out of the blanket over the bed?
My foot's so hot, I want to put it out. But what if they get it?
What if something grabs me?
Yep, I totally get it.
So it's better not to add any more problems.
Yeah, so I guess we really just gave you a whole list of movies to avoid.
Or if you're like that style, you're like, what was that last one? That's Sinister. That's the top one they say for the heart rate.
From heart rate, they say that's the scariest of the bunch.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
Nikki, have you started your Christmas shopping yet?
I actually bought something yesterday, believe it or not.
Really?
It's right about this time I normally start. I have to I usually do like a Google Doc with a Christmas list. So I can just kind of start adding to that, or at least finding what I might want to get someone, even if I'm not buying it yet.
So according to this particular poll, about 47% of Americans have already done some Christmas shopping. And it's, I love this. They say the number one reason rated for people to do shopping right now, they're just bored.
Oh, that's real right there.
They're bored.
I think it helps because not only are they providing, like Prime Day, Best Buy, Walmart all did their days. They're giving you sales that would be like Black Friday, Christmas shopping sales earlier. And it helps spread out so you're not spending all this money in December and it hits you really hard. You're spending a little bit for gifts along the way.
I was going to say that I haven't done any Christmas shopping, but I just realized that I had.
You have?
Yes, I did. I bought something over the weekend for my uncle. I found it and I was like, this would be a perfect Christmas present. And I actually put it down and walked away and I was like, no, you're not buying Christmas presents now. And then I was like, dude,
why not?
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, here's how this goes. You go home and a month from now you go, oh, I wonder if I can still find that thing. And then you won't be able to find it. It won't be anywhere and you'll have nothing.
So Mitch said he procrastinates when it comes to Christmas shopping, usually the week before Christmas, and that's usually the week of honestly of getting it all done.
Wow. I had my one friend's dad, I can remember, he shops for his wife on Christmas Eve. Aww. That's like his tradition.
Well, that's not maybe the best. Maybe check with her. I don't know if she likes that tradition.
That sounds awful.
It does sound terrible.
It sounds awful.
It just means you probably can't get maybe exactly what they would like. So why not start early? I don't think there's a problem with it.
I don't know. I mean, I get it. Like maybe you don't have the cash flow right now or whatever. I get that. But yeah. I don't even know. The other thing they're saying is they're like, yeah, it's going to be a huge Christmas this year. People are going to buy a whole lot more because of the pandemic.
Not so sure about that.
I know. I was talking to some people yesterday. I was like, you know what, guys? How about just a little less Christmas this year? Like, do we really need? Because I hung out with my parents last night. Their nieces and nephews and cousins and all this stuff to buy for, and it was like, look, how about just like, if you're under, I don't know, whatever age, then you get the present, and then everybody else, you got a job, buy your own stuff.
Sometimes with certain people, it is kind of like just exchanging the exact same thing. But for some people, it is still fun to try to find something.
Sure.
And you might as well start early.
Yeah.
Give you more time so you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I have bought my first Christmas present. And apparently, if you're bored and you're shopping...
Don't feel bad.
Almost half of America is with you.
You are in the same boat as everybody else.
Yeah, so don't feel too bad about where you are.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.
You better put yourself out there, girl.